Hello everyone, and welcome back in to this oracle reading of the Ragnar-Ra channel. And yesterday I did part 1, and what we were doing was looking at how Uranus was affecting you right now. I want to be clear here that when we were looking at this Uranus in Aquarius under all your 12 houses, and what we got was change and liberation, which is what Uranus is bringing to us all in the sky now. It's called the Great Awakener. It's about this drive to be different and to bring about radical changes. So what I was looking at was how Uranus was doing this, and we were looking at all 12 houses, which would cover your birth chart. But I do want to be clear, I am not reading your astrology chart. This isn't something like your birth chart with the planets that would be rising at the time of your birth, because obviously I do not know your birthday or can read an astrology chart unless one's in front of me and I have a book of how to read the planets and how to read the astrology signs, because your birth chart would have different astrological placements in each one of your houses depending on when and where you were born in the world. So what I am doing is looking at each house, and everyone has the same 12 houses. So I'm looking at all your houses, like your personal house, which is you, your property, financial house, which is 2, your house of communication and brothers and sisters, your house of home, your house of home and family, and your creativity and how that matters to you. This is 5 I'm looking at here, but this is children and creative matters. So yes, 5 covers children and creative matters, which we saw yesterday, and how that was for you at this moment, not your birth chart. So as long as we're clear with that, we can continue. And this is just aspects that are happening now and could change tomorrow, could change next week. It's just what's happening now, what the cards are showing us for the way you are operating at this moment. So we finished at creativity, the way you create in the world and how your creativity is manifesting. And so now we're moving on to the 6th card, and if you don't know where we are here, you'd have to watch part 1. So on the 6th card, we're talking about work, we're talking about health, and we're talking about service. So let's have a look at that. So this is concentration, and it's Saturn again the 2nd time, and it's in Gemini here, and this is that card. So let's see what this means. Well, on this scene here, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I think you can. From my view, you can. On this scene here, it explains the scene as a star which is centered in a delicate spider's web. Yeah, which is this area here. The web signifies patience and concentration. Above, an imp cavorts astride a pair of tightly closed lips, while 7 swords dance dangerously around him. There's also something that looks like a heart there that hasn't, can you see in the top corner on the left? It looks like a heart. So this is the card. Now what does that mean when we're talking about Saturn in Gemini? It says showing the capacity for a disciplined thought and reasoning, and also a capacity for doing good. A desire to achieve is foremost, and Gemini talents combine to find quick and appropriate answers. It can be the need to appear to be right or to be the right person in a very ambitious situation. But this practical and systematic approach enables this ability to be persistent in solving tricky problems. Clarity in contracts and agreements are important. You need to know precisely where you stand here. It's very ambitious and at the same time can be very technical. So it's the kind of attitude of people that, but through your concentration, conscientiously keeping to the essence of the matter, will you arrive at a successful conclusion. So cut out anything that is not necessary. It could mean talking yourself, here we go again with the silver tongue, into positions, into certain places, jobs, using your concentrated research as well to achieve something, conscientious study. And also it does say that the deliberate ability to not be distracted. And this is about work, it is about your health and your service. So again, we see this intense energy with Saturn here. So this mental agility and this ability to be so concentrated and to also have this persistent and systematic attitude to any kind of problems. They all seem to align within these cards here towards a certain direction, but we're only looking at the 6th house, so there's lots more to go here. So how would this pan out? Right, well, with partnerships, marriage and business, we can also look. Now, when we're looking at these cards, what we're seeing is planets in every single house here. But in reality, nobody would have a planet in every single house. Generally, the 7 or 9 planets, whichever you want to work, would not fill every house. But here we are looking at these combinations in each house. This is another reason why we're not talking about your birth chart. So here we have the Sun, and the Sun, marriage, business, partnerships. And so it's the Sun in Cancer. And looking at all these cards here, and every single one of them is talking about communicating. I also think this also spoke like of some kind of communication with authority and wanting to bring changes in here. The cards are reflecting the energy of Neptune. So when we have this resourcefulness in partnerships of all kinds, including business, we've got the Sun, and the Sun is of Cancer. So this is fortune, nurturing and attachments. And on this card, we see a bleak landscape, it says. A raven converts a discarded vase into a highly decorative home. So this emotional sensitivity again with the Sun in Cancer, feelings, considering feelings to be of paramount importance here, a powerfully nurturing person. And when it relates to and concerns family, well, this is relationships. Same caring qualities come into play as people with this planet sign combination experience most things on an emotional level. This is going back to your great empathy from the previous reading here. Decisions are based on how they feel rather than cold logic. Interesting, that flip from the concentration and the mental agility here in this previous card, which was your work, health and service, and then the flip back into the emotional Cancer when it talks to partnerships and marriage and unions, straight back into this feeling energy. So yeah, it sounds to me like you've got this ability to flick switches and go from this less emotional, analytical, very systematic, detailed way, and cut out any kind of interferences, just being able to block that out, just to solely concentrate and focus. And yet when it comes to these energies of personal relationships or even business partners, you go back into this very caring, nurturing energy. So this combination for you means you have an excellent memory for past life events. The need for security is prominent, and indeed this card defines a careful person who is happier with a little something put away for a rainy day. It's a strong need to collect and accumulate both objects and helpful people, and you may have a difficulty getting rid of things like order. Yeah, these are emotional attachments of past things, past events, and that emotional tie with past people, past events can be hard for you to give away or throw away. You have this shrewd and acquisitive talent, and it's useful in business in which the Sun Cancerian excels. Wow. People with this aspect expand and expend time and energy in making the home and place of beauty and luxury. Yeah, so you can have a feeling for a home, for the place, and you just know how to make this look beautiful and luxurious. You have a feeling about the energy of the property you live in and its potential. It's about putting down strong roots, and once you're settled in those roots, you don't really like to be moved. Yeah. Inherited family traditions and things like this, family background is very important. It also talks about big family occasions that you enjoy, reunions. It talks about inheritance here. Yeah, and something to do with paternal contact. So this is the house of business and matters of the unions, partnerships, and because it's come out this Sun in Cancer, which is perfect for this, you seem to have this lined up, and it does point a lot to business here. There is a lot that can be said about the way you are shifting through this Uranus and using these energies to help you communicate, to establish yourself. So let's just go further before we try and do any summing up. And I can see the Sun is out again, and this is the placement of, where are we here? The 8th house, and this is shared property, others and finances. And if I show you this chart for yourself, you can see your houses, and the first one would be here signifying you, and how it goes round in this anti-clockwise way, and then we have the 8th house, and the 12th house would be right here. So we're on the 8th now, and this 8th house is the Sun again, and it looks like the Sun, no, it is definitely Virgo. So here we have it, and it is the Sun, which is fortune, of course, and it's Virgo. So again, we see this perfection and service again. So we're seeing like perfection in quite a few houses here. And this is shared property, service. So making order out of chaos is one of the things that are apparent in this sun in Virgo, of course. And this rules again work and health, as it says here. So it looks like if it's working within these parameters of property and finance, then it's health, healthy finance, healthy property. Material well-being is a requisite for fulfilling organised working life. People with this planet sign combination can be somewhat perfectionist in specialised areas, and as a result, a little hard on those less able to match their high standards. Care should be taken not to over sort of burden others and maybe get at them too much because they cannot keep up with your high standard and organisation. So this again is out how you accumulate money. It's your property, shared property too, and your finances. And the Sun Virgoan values learning in order to analyse and grasp the essence of things. Material progress is also respected. So you will respect whatever you have here, whatever financial, whatever beneficial financial property or money you have a high respect for that. You have a fondness of good things again, the same here. And do not throw away hard-earned money on rubbish. Yeah. You also flourish when helping others. Doesn't that reflect this empathy card again? And this isolation with friends here that we were saying previously in the cards in different areas of your life. And this was your creative way that you can use your energy to help others. And it all sort of seems to boil down to this work again, your work ethic, and how you wish to create, and yeah, your dexterity in that. So healthy fortune is the way I see it. Fortune, having a healthy amount of money, acquiring a healthy amount of money, but you don't. But once it's been hard earned, you're not going to waste it. You're not a wastrel. You have a good eye for material progress. Yeah. You respect money, and you have a great fondness of good things in life. But you won't use this money to throw it away. You will use it to help others. You have got this ability to give to needy causes or those in need, which is beautiful. I mean, this is a very connected person that I'm talking about here. Very connected in the right ways. And then we're going to look at card 9 now, which is all about philosophy, religion, law, travel. So all those areas. And we have detachment here. And this is Venus in Aquarius. Detachment. But this is about your travel, distant travel, and religion, law or philosophy. So how does that work within religion, this Aquarian detachment and this Venus? Venus in Aquarius. Interesting combination. Very interesting. Interesting for me because I'm an Aquarian. So that just sounds juxtaposed. Detachment and Venus. Well, let's see, because I don't know how it's going to look. Oh, I found it. Okay, so Venus in Aquarius is what we're looking at. And just to recap, we're looking at that in the house of your religion, what you believe, philosophies in life, or law, legal matters, or what's right, and also travel. So this intellect intelligent person looks ahead with a detached interest, the cranium is marked with a phenological map showing areas of intellect here. Okay. He is immersed in thought, unaware of the idyllic scene behind. The sea represents emotions. Their taste inclines towards the unusual, with innovative art taking pride and of place. Quite eccentric, promiscuous. Friends, loved ones of Venus Aquarians, be creative, artistic, long-term partnerships. Unconventional social attitude. When this comes to your philosophies and beliefs, it's talking to me about someone that can be very fluid. You don't have a attachment to any kind of particular religion, or you're very pliable when it comes to matters of philosophy. It's showing a very fluid movement here when it comes to these areas of life. You've got no problem with intermingling different religions, I'm seeing here. You know, you could be a Buddhist who also does magic. You could be a spiritualist who also likes to go to church. Travel as well indicates that you like unusual places. Eccentricism, so you're very eccentric. You might go to places that other people wouldn't think of, or what interests you may be something that other people wouldn't take any notice of. You see, you have a very eccentric way of looking at things. So the way your mind works may be different to the way other people's mind work. So what interests you would probably be different to what most people would find interesting. Say, for example, people go to Egypt and everyone wants to go and see the Pyramid of Giza. You may not want to see the Giza Pyramid. That may not interest you. It may be something so different that people would never thought of. So this is what this card is saying to me, with this detachment. This is this Aquarius energy coming out here. Yeah, so a very different way of looking at religion, very different way of looking at places and things, very eclectic. So yeah, you're not the kind of person that take a package tour to see a particular place. You wouldn't like that. That wouldn't appeal to you. So let's go on and let's see what else this is. Now, this is the house. We're going to your career now. This is your overall career and your place in society. So because we're looking at it at future cards, and within these great changes and these great kind of awakenings happening now, we have this Venus. And this Venus is in what? What is this Venus? This is Gemini again, I do believe. So we're getting Venus in again coming through. So we've had Venus in this travel, Venus in your spirituality with Aquarius, and now we're having Venus in your overall place in life, your place in your community, to do with the career that you have or that you will choose. So where will that bring you? So this card, Venus in Gemini, can you see up there? Yeah, I'm going to tilt it up and turn it round so you can see it better. Venus in Gemini. Your place in the world, your place, your standing. You're standing as regards to your career. You're standing as regards to the community. So we look at that. the god Janus, whose two faces look towards the past and the future. Here it symbolizes the Gemini quality of talking to one person while listening to another's conversation. The spreading planet suggests the multiplicity of the Venus and Gemini nature. Very changeable, so this is about placing community, so it's showing changes. So we're seeing Uranus here because this is about the changeable attitude of this Gemini energy. And you can be friends with everyone, which shows a kind of standing that you may have, being liked by many people. With your conversation, and your wit. So yeah, you like to use wit in your conversation. You like good conversations with like the people you love and all your friends, which are of paramount importance here. So this could also relate to your standing in the community. You want to have a good flow of conversation and a bit of wit in there. And you will spread out your affections. You've got enough affection for everyone, which, you know, again, sounds like somebody who's like very respected in the community and can also be very diplomatic to be able to get on with so many people and to be able to spread this like love to these people. You're very like versatile, that's why. But you can be all things to all people, literally. So people will be coming to you for certain things and you are able to deliver that. You can win attention. Very smooth tongue. The smooth tongue is coming out again here with this Gemini Venus. Cleverly, you can phrase things and compliment. It can be a talent that can be very useful for manipulation as well. But I think in the way it is shown in this reading, it would only be done in like a flattery kind of way. But what else? We've got this creative energy again with this Venus Gemini. When it comes to like community, places in the community and the connections that you have. Creative energy, very creative person. Which is good because you have these different intelligences within you, not just one. So within the community, I think the way that you would enjoy the attention of others. So this is like your place in the community. So now let's go on here to the friends, associations, and your hopes and wishes. So let's have a look at this. And this is card 11. And we can see, oh, lost. We have Venus here. And we have Venus in, what is that? Is that Capricorn? Hopes, wishes, friends, associations. So we have Venus in Aries. An unadorned figure is the object of desire. This is this lady here in the background. The fiery volcano symbolizes Aries' sudden outburst of energy. Chameleon changes color to become whatever is required in order to achieve its aims. So you have there's a chameleon energy going on here, in which you can change in order to achieve your hopes, your dreams here. So this is very pliable, and you could get a lot of personal attention here. Yeah, especially with like partners and partnerships, when it comes to this, like your wishes, your desires, your friends and your associations. People are drawn to you, attracted to you, and maybe they lust over you here. Yeah, and you're able to sort of be this chameleon to achieve what you need to achieve. Positive, enthusiastic type of person, very cheerful, and you have a kind of sparkle, warm-hearted, pleasant, friendly. So you can win many friends. You can get what you want socially here is what it is. because Venus and Aries, I mean, what a combination. This is like your will and, like, you know, the way you love combined. People would just love you, fall in love with you. And because you have this like this will, this great and this nature to be able to be very competent. You attract people. You can get through any kind of situation, anything tricky. You are able to navigate here because you're this chameleon. You know, you have these qualities. And again, it talks about good in business. You're competitive. You want the best, and you sort of know how to navigate yourself to get that best. This artistic creativity is coming through again. Artistic, talented, friends. These same cards are coming up in almost every single energy, but where it matters, you know, other energies are coming up, like being able to achieve your dreams. You've got this chameleon. You've got this different kind of energy that, like, attracts people to you. I mean, it's beautiful. You know how to assert yourself because you've got this will, this self-will of Aries. So it is a really good overall reading right now when it comes to the overall energies of change and transformation and exactly what they are doing for you. They seem to be opening door after door after door after door to help you complete this career, this mission, whatever you have going on here. And let's finally look at this last card. And this is the 12th house. This really is about your spirituality. It's about anything which is about institutions. It's also about, like, any secret enemies. And we have Gemini in Leo. And something tells me that this is also going to be spectacular because I seem to be talking to someone that's got these a huge amount of power, a huge amount of drive, a huge amount of mental dexterity, as well as this real creative energy and just a know-how for business and for speaking and for being a leader and completing goals. Gemini. Gemini? That's not Gemini, is it? No, that's not Gemini. That's Mercury, sorry. Mercury, Leo. And I mean, that just sounds so good, Mercury in Leo. I mean, the sun in Mercury. I mean, that's expansion. Surely, yet self-expression, create change. So we've come right all the way round to go straight back to change and transformations here. And this is spirituality. The Mobius tube twines endlessly. And this is the Mobius tube. Affinity, if you like. A vision that defies and puzzles the mind. The great lion roars to draw attention to himself. The disc is a talisman with a pentacle to secure eloquence. So big ideas, big thinking, splendid visionary mind, able to see things as they could be. So you can see the big picture. Grand projects, big pictures. Rolling, a ball that's rolling towards an achievement here. Intuitive, artist, planner, self-confidence, lions, ideas, not easily moved. Once fully formed, the need to be accepted is an authority in a field, demands memorable presentation skills, and Mercury Leos have the ability to express themselves dramatically in speech and writing. Take great pride in this. The aspect bodes well as well for those connected with either business, show business, or theatre. So I think when it comes to the spirituality of yours, it's almost like as though you're pushing this window here, this change. You have big ideas, spiritual ideas, visionary. You can see things. You're a seer here. You know how to bring this to the stage, to use your prose, your intellect, your authority, your power, your ability for flair, for business, and bring this vision out so people can also to get involved. So it's hard to really round this up, but I'm going to give it a shot. So you have this silver tongue, you have this great empathy, you have this sort of love of our earth, you have a love of animals, you have a love of anything that is to do with nature. You may be psychic and can hear like things that other people can't hear. This empathy allows you to appreciate and have a deep love for being with animals, being within nature, but at the same time you also have like this authority. And again we see this spiritual with the earth, so this is like spiritual power, or authority should really be the word I'm using. And this isolation card, and also this care of friends that you have. This is the people in your life and your family. And again it shows this card of like creative energy. Within your family you do take up a heavy role because you feel responsible for those that you love and you wish to care for them. And you can take on heavy challenges, and you take too much on sometimes, but you will and are capable of showing fortitude to talk truth into the face of authority in order to change outmoded methods. You see the suffering of the people in your community here, and you want to put yourself forward as a spokesman for those that cannot talk for themselves. You have this great refined concentration. You're able to block out anything, any distraction, in order to systematically use this energy, this mental energy of yours, this mental dexterity when it comes to situations which involve your work and service to others. Yeah, going above and beyond here. But with all these cards that we're seeing here, with this taking on these massive roles, being able to be this authority, this leader, to talk and stand up for those that are really suffering in the world here, to wanting to make changes. And you can use your mental dexterity as well to do this, and not only your mental dexterity, but I think there was a talk of and you being able to gain these resources through this and through your work and acquire the money to acquire whatever you need here. Very resourceful. So yeah, and with shared property and finances, I think we also saw that your property and finances would be very healthy because of the way you're able to acquire money, but you won't throw it away, but you do like good things in life. There is detachment here when it comes to spiritual subjects, like I think the more religious, dogmatic things. You are more interested in places for what it brings to you mentally than, just what people are attracted to. It's with this flattery, you're able quite easily to be like everything to everyone within the community, and you really do like to have a good rapport with people and share like laughter and fun. You have a chameleon way of getting exactly to fulfill these hopes and wishes that you need to. You have friends and associates that will be very close to you here, and spiritually you have a very broad vision of how you want to make these changes, is in a very dramatic way, and you do want to change the world in a spiritual way too. So yeah, it does talk and overall show how these big energies in the sky now with these planets are really allowing you to break forward in strides towards the goal that you are seeking here, combining all your skills to help communities, to serve. We've had two service cards here, and you really feel like it is your time, you know, and your place, and you take up the responsibility and the duty here. And I did see earlier, yes, with this authority, having this authority, and with the Capricorn, it was, you feel that it is your duty to speak against powers which is causing people this kind of desolation because of your empathetic attitude towards humanity as a goal. So this is the fulfillment of your reading, and I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I've really been interested in seeing this and how each card has talked about using creative energy, your mental abilities, your dexterity, your drive, your enthusiasm. It's just like endless amounts of outpourings here. To do things in service to others is like the highest goal that you can achieve in life. And I really wish you all the best. So thank you. I hope you've enjoyed my reading. And if you have, please leave me a great big like. Think of subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I am work in progress, and I hope to progress better and better every time I read, and to try and, you know, do lots of kind of different kinds of readings for you. So remember, the universe loves you. Remember, the gods love you, and I love you. Bye now. Namaste.